20-second delay, that's all.
Oh, 20-second delay. Okay.
Some ask me, what do you see when you look inside the mirror? I say, same thing when I look at you. I said, you have become a mere image of me. But hey, I made them images too. And then I wonder, why can't I be what I always see what's inside of me? Daydreaming all day long. And then I wonder, why can't we be what we all want to be free? What makes me weak, not strong? I come along, imagine, oh yeah, imagine, oh yeah, imagine, oh yeah, imagine.
You should be able to see me now.
You drink for real.
No, you're not. I'm not on your page.
Like you're talking about a good vibration. I talk about using imagination.
Oh, hear me.
Some tell you life is what you make it. Now who say we won't making it? Not time.
You should imagine now.
And then you hear the lectures from the rich man. Tell me who is the money rich man? Some politician man. I strive to make it every day in spiritually. No, not just the night and some dream. Oh no, the verbal and emotional gifts, yes, that makes you rich. Not just the kind that are green. I come along, imagine. Oh yeah, imagine. You should imagine now. Yes, you should imagine. You drink for real, yeah. A dream of life, a dream of peace. Let's do away with that hate.
Yes, I can.
And not just American dreams. Oh yeah, I need to talk about a dream of faith, a dream of hope, a dream of my good love, my job walking with us again within. Now one man's dream, another man's reality. Don't mean our life are not for real. And some think that our life are only in the dream, but not what.
Do away with that hate.
I come along, y'all. Yes, I say I come along. Yes, I say can come along. I come along. I come on. Yeah, yeah. Imagine. Yeah, imagine. Oh yeah.
All right. So we're doing a little test run tonight. Hey, Brother D, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you all out there can hear me, give me a little thumbs up or something. So we're doing a little test here. I'm supposed to have my man Derek McDonald on the screen. I can see him. I hope you all can hear him. If you can hear him, let me know that you can hear him. Wanja, man, let me know you can hear him and see me. But of course, I'm doing the engineering. What's up, dog? I'm doing the engineering, so I don't see him on what's coming out to you guys, but I see him internally. So what's up, Derek?
What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, staying in. It's Friday, bro.
Well, thank you for the music earlier this evening. You and Wanja Man, and what's my man's name on guitar?
That was Dre.
Brother
Me and
Dre.
Dre one.
Yep,
Yeah.
Brother Dre on that. So, how you doing during this pandemic, man?
Well, just taking it one day at a time, trying to figure out in my head, what's going on and why I think this is happening.
And what's your daily routine and rhythm to keep the frequency and the vibration moving in a positive way?
I like to go out and ride my bike, as much as I can. That's my main thing is just to get out and just ride around and just feel the sun, say hi to people as I ride past them.
And the
Just trying
music,
to,
the frequency and the vibration of the music has to be something that keeps you moving as well.
oh, absolutely, always playing the music. And it's funny how in times like this, not just the music we play, but the music we listen to, the message has such much more meaning. Songs we've listened to talking about change and then all of a sudden you're in the midst of change, major change. I mean, change is always happening, but right now we're going through a major change,
I think a part of that
paradigm shift.
I think a part of that change is, you have people reaching out to one another like never before because we got time. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's very true. It's funny, like when I ride my bike before the pandemic, you would hardly see anybody out there, just a few people exercising or running or, walking. But now it's like everybody's out there riding and walking. It's a whole new traffic.
Yeah, I see a lot more people um, practicing social distancing. Let me say that.
Yeah,
But just,
yeah,
but just a lot more people out and about, and we've had some beautiful days here in North Carolina, and so just seeing a lot of people out getting their bodies in motion, and we got some beautiful flowers blooming, and yeah, it's beautiful here where I am, man. So it makes the pandemic a whole lot more palatable, if that makes sense. Now, if
for
you guys see,
sure.
go ahead.
I wonder, when the weather changes, if we're still in the middle of social distancing and staying at home, and when the weather starts to change for people up north, and then you have to be more indoors, I wonder what that's going to be like for them. You know,
Well, I think we have to
I mean,
take
there's
it.
people up north, upstate New York and Maine. There's people upstate New York and Maine. It's still snowing up there.
It snowed like today in the past few days.
Like this week and this
Mm.
past week, yeah. Talked to my son Elijah. He said it was snowing.
Well, I think that's why I live in a more temperate region because the weather's been beautiful here. I can say
Yeah,
that for a fact.
me and you talk a lot, and it seems like our weather patterns are very similar. The weather you get there in North Carolina compared to what we get here in Florida, it's very similar a lot.
So I want to reiterate something because as we're sitting here, everyone keeps seeing me looking around. I'm looking around to try and figure out what I'm not doing correctly with Zoom to bring into the OBS because I can see Derek. Derek, can you see me?
I can see you 3 times in 3 different screens.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't have that view, brother. Um, but no one
There's
else
a
can.
box. There's a box that's empty on the screen. It looks like I should be in that box, but I'm not.
On my screen, you're in that box, and Derek just said something profound before we went live. What'd you say about technology?
Technology.
Yeah, you said something about technology and the people who are age worthy of technology.
Oh, I said technology was not made for people over 50.
And see, if I were over 50, I'd be offended. So,
Okay, here we go.
fortunately, I'm not offended. But For those of you who are over 50, this show is not indicative of Derek's opinions about people over 50. People over 50, I think, have great cognitive reasoning skills. Is that what we're talking about? So what if
Hey,
they
I'm
can't,
over 50, so I was talking about myself.
so what if they can't make the Zoom system work right off the top? If you had Skype, it'd be a whole nother ball game, brother. I
I just
think.
figured out how to get my microphone on today.
It's a daily process. So I'm trying to play a lot of music. So I'm asking all my musician friends to send me some music. I like to play music that's not necessarily always on the mainstream, and I think a lot of the music that I play is something that makes people dance and feel good music. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. We were always about that music that makes people dance.
Yeah, I think that's very important. I know that our listening group, people listen to us, thinks is very important. Now, if you could hear, this is where I would make the segue, and I'd be like, you know what? This is where I'm gonna play some music, but you can't hear, you can't hear the music when I play the music, can you?
I did hear it earlier before you went live. I could hear it
You could hear it like loud enough where you were, or just coming back through the microphone on my side.
coming back through the microphone.
Yeah, that's not how I want you to hear. But nonetheless, the music that is making people dance and feel good is a lot of music that we grew up on. So starting next Tuesday when I'm doing Talk with Taj and bringing some hyper local North Carolina music information and whatnot. One thing I'm going to focus on is the music that we grew up on with, my man, brother Carl AAE, friend of his on Facebook, Desi from Ojanaya, some of the old cats that we rolled with. I saw when you guys were playing earlier, Patrick Norman, bass player from Rusted Root. Uh, he popped on. There was a time that an area that we grew up in where we got to see a side of the music scene grow, and I think that's something worth talking about. What do you think?
Absolutely, those were great times being a part of the scene, the music scene in Morgantown, West Virginia, back in the early '90s. It was a great time. Just the camaraderie of the musicians, knowing each other, being a part of each other's music. You know, not directly, but just supporting one another's music. You know.
And I remember every Thursday, Saturday night, the Roxy was my spot. You know what I mean? And
Oh, in DC.
yes, man. And the reggae
Yeah,
bands that made the Uprising, Black Sheep,
that's
Third
how we
Eye,
got opened up, man.
AAE. Yeah, man. Those were
That's how
every
we got
Thursday,
opened up.
Saturday night, and there was no social media, so you either had the city paper, or you had to call whatever the phone number was, and they would give you the whole lineup for the Roxy for the week. And I always looked to see who was playing Thursday and Saturday night. So that was, yeah, those were the days for
Be on
sure.
a mission to find live reggae music. We would
Yeah,
be on a mission to look in the paper, say, "Ooh, so and so's playing tonight." Remember the one time we went to go see Inner Circle in DC?
yeah, they were at the RFK Stadium.
We were driving around forever trying to find that stage.
So I think that's what made us fans of the music for sure. So when we had the opportunity to play music and to be a part of the scene, I think we approached it as always from the perspective of, what made us enjoy checking out live music. You know what I mean? Like from the perspective of the fan, because we enjoyed checking out live music, being there kicking it, when the band was kicking it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, because growing up in high school, we were always a part of music, theater. So just to see some other people playing live music was always inspiring. And then on that level, like seeing guys in the band playing music that people were, celebrating and partying to, that was even more appealing.
I made a
I can
post.
remember,
Go ahead.
I can remember when I first went to WVU, West Virginia University, And I went out and I saw a live band playing, and I knew some guys in the band. And I was like, man, that is really cool just to see some people up there doing something like that, and people in the crowd applauding and yelling and hearing some of the best yeehaws I ever heard in my life in West Virginia. And just hearing them like just enjoying the music. And then at the end of the night, I'm hanging with my friends, and all of a sudden I see the manager hand them some money. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Y'all just got paid to do that? He was like, yeah, we get paid to do that.
Yeah, that was a
I
whole
was
nother
like,
dimension
what?
right there.
I was like, y'all up there having fun and you getting paid too? I was like, oh man, I'm hooked. I want some of that. Just doing something I enjoy and then also being able to take care of myself, financially.
And being a part of the rhythm of traveling from upstate New York down to Florida and having that, the
And being in
camaraderie with
front
the
of a
other
crowd,
bands on the circuit and all that, you know.
yeah, being in front of crowds of people from a different region, like you could tell right away it's a totally different vibration. You go into another town, they do things a little differently from where you're from, and that added an element of excitement to it too, because you're like, I'm getting to share something that I'm part of creating with some people in another part of the world or the country, and to see how they appeal to it, or not appeal to it.
I think part of the good time as far as where cats like you and I came from is that going to church was a part of it, but having a high school area where we had a strong chamber choir, we had a strong theater program, we had a strong sports program, and we were just around a lot of talented people across all those areas, and everybody could play a little sports, and everybody could play a little music and knock a little beat, and everybody had a little wisdom and good sense. So, kind of growing up that way was a made it for a nice way to be able to flow in the music scene and beyond. You know what I mean?
Sure. It's funny though, back then while we're in the middle of it, for me personally, I didn't really see it like I see it now, like looking back on it. For example, the other day, Pam DeVere was on Facebook playing her cello.
I saw that.
It sounded so beautiful, and I just thought about her playing now compared to when she was a youngster. We thought she was good then, and then to hear her play now, and all the notes, the intonation just sounded so beautiful.
And she had that split
See,
screen with like that snow, uh,
right?
the
Yeah, that.
snowscape going with it.
Hmm.
And again, let me not apologize. Say this is a little test run, but unfortunately, Derek, you can see three screens of me. They should be seeing at least what you see in the screen where it's me, and then you're. But they're only seeing me, unfortunately. But I'll continue.
Actually, I figured something out. Me being over 50 and all. Now I got a split screen where I see me and I see you.
Yeah, I see that. And to some of our folks who are watching, well, you don't have your Facebook open, do you?
For me,
Yeah.
you want me to go to it right now?
Well, no, you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Or you could.
Well, Ron was checking it out from his phone, but because me and you, I was sitting right next to him, I went upstairs so that he could hear it because of that 20-second delay. It was kind of awkward. So
Sure, sure, sure. So
I went
I'll
upstairs.
say I'll
So he,
say this that come Tuesday when I start doing the show again, a lot of things we're going to focus on here in our area is making sure that people who need food, people, no one goes hungry in our area. People who need clothes, that no one's going to go without. And I think if we all kind of focus on those things for as much as we can in our local community, that'll speak volumes for doing what we can as we kind of traverse some new ground that we've none of us have ever experienced. You know what I mean?
Hmm. I was kind of curious. Are places accepting like donations as far as like clothing and stuff? Because I was wondering if they were going to be like they're not accepting donations right now because of the virus.
Perhaps
Maybe some places are, but others aren't.
I would like to think in every area there's a nonprofit network that can answer those questions, and you know, especially we start talking about no one should go hungry. Oh, and to the people, Johnny Mac, hey, and Lisa, and Brooksy, and folks who are, and Wanja Man, and folks who are listening. Nice to see you all. And yeah, if you guys have a comment, please comment. I'm sitting here talking to my friend Derek, who you guys should be able to see on the screen, but unfortunately, because I'm not that well versed, it's a lot easier when you have smarter people who are doing the control things and all that, and you just have to sit down and start talking. But I will be able to do this here soon. But um, back to the music in the whole DC area. You guys, Ras Rafiki was a big part of that scene, man. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we had our little foothold in the scene a little bit there in DC. We would play at places like the old Grog and Tankard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Grog and Tank. We were just talking about that the other night. Remember
And
the Kilimanjaro?
Kilimanjaro, we played there once or twice. Never played the 8x10, but
Old 930, new 930.
yeah, the old 930, we've been through there. And we would hit in Virginia too, up there in, what was that place? They had the peanuts on the floor all the time in
Oh, that
Virginia.
Fat Tuesday place
Yeah,
over
that
by
was in
George Mason.
Rest, right?
No,
Was
no,
that
that
Rest?
was in Fairfax.
Fairfax, yeah. And I had a friend who his family owned a place there in DC. He brought us up there. I think the place was called Geo's. Used to
Oh
come
yeah,
play up
that
there.
spot was not Silver Spring area, but yeah, I remember that. That was like what 92
We were working at that summer camp up there in Virginia.
in Falls Church. I posted that picture today or yesterday of playing at the Bayou, 1998. I thought it was 99. Someone corrected me, said 1998. In the next to last show that was ever at the Bayou in Georgetown, down by the water. And that's been a while, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure when you guys got to be so old, but yeah, that's been some years.
Yeah, it seemed like yesterday, brother.
Yeah, man. So, when we do the show, I want people to be able to send me, I want to do a segment called Tell Me Something Good. I don't have that trademarked. That's not my trademark. That is a song. But I like to hear a lot of positive stuff happening. So I was thinking today while I was out doing my exercise that how thankful I am that my children are healthy, my mom is healthy, my brothers and sisters, my family. And so I think it's a good thing to, make sure that we acknowledge what we are thankful for. You know what I mean? And never go without thinking what we're thankful for. Does that make sense? I hate when people say, "Does that make sense?" Does that make sense?
Indeed, give thanks every day, because it's the journey, it's not the destination. So as long as we are blessed to journey, live it, enjoy it, let it challenge you, face the challenge, overcome the challenge, and you know, enjoy it along the way.
Again, I'm going to say if in your community, with everyone who's listening right now, if you have connections with folks whereby you have an anonymous network to make sure people don't go hungry, then let's find a way to network that. If you have local farmers you're working with who they have food that, they don't want to go to waste, restaurants, what have you, make sure that we can create that network. If you have people who find themselves in a place where they need to speak with someone, they just need to have someone to listen or what have you, I do have a network of professionals who are ready and willing to talk to people any time of day, and anonymity always, but don't let anyone go in a position of being isolated to where they need someone just to talk to, because sometimes just having someone to talk to makes a difference. So I do have access to that. And as always, anybody can hit me up any time of day. If you don't have my phone number, you're probably 5, 6 degrees away from getting it, or you can always hit me up on the Facebook Messenger. But, again, let's make sure people don't go without checking in on them. I have a good friend, Tony Phillips, who at least every 12 days he calls me just to check in to say, hey, tell me how much he appreciates me and see how I'm doing. He doesn't know uh, how positive that is. And of course, I have some very close friends. Derek's one of them, and we always check on one another. And I think everyone should have those sorts of friendships. But um, yeah, don't let anyone go feeling that they don't have someone to reach out to. What you think about that, man?
It sounds good to me, bro.
I think so. So come Tuesday, we're gonna kick off the show to my man Johnny Mack, Eric Swain. People who are listening in, we appreciate you. Um, yeah, be good to somebody. It's TajTalk.com. Got my man D. I'm gonna figure out the Zoom between now and next week. I'm better at Skype, so you may want to download Skype. I think I got the Hangout. Zoom, I'm still working on that. But we appreciate all y'all. You got Johnny Mack listening, the West Virginia connection, brother D, FYI, right?
All right, what's up, brother?
So yeah, y'all, we'll see you when we see you, brother D. I
Okay.
appreciate you.
All right.
All right, take care.
Yes.